This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. You. Welcome to Everyday Celebrity Podcast. It's episode 6. We are here in a massage studio. I have two guests with me. One's female, one is male. One was an old pimp. He used to be on Fillmore in San Francisco back in the day. Probably pimping your guys' daughters and shit. We have him here. He's an ex-third baseman at El Cerrito High School. He's a barber. An ex-manager at a restaurant. He goes by the name of Ron. Say hi to the people.
Hello to the people.
And we have a massage therapist, one of the best in the Bay Area. She worked with people like Led Zeppelin, Ozzy Osbourne. She's real good at massaging feet. She has a little massage spot in Montclair. Famous jewelry designer, a jack of all trades. Liana, say hello.
What's up, motherfucker?
All right, so yeah, this episode, I thought it was because, the holidays are coming up. I thought it would be good to talk about, like, relationships. Because Christmas time, Thanksgiving, that's usually when they say it's cuffing season. So I'm saying, why not get two people who know about multiple relationships because they deal with multiple people.
I'm married.
All day, every day.
I'm
not. So, but let's dig into your guys' background. Liana, where are you from?
I'm an Oakland girl, born and raised. East Oakland with my dad, and Piedmont and Temescal with my mom. You want background of like where I'm from? Like,
so you were raised in two different households?
I was raised in two different households. My mom raised me for the most part. My dad, when he had a house, I would be with him. So I was back and forth, in and out of houses, in and out of cars.
In and out of cars?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like homeless, you know.
Oh, you was homeless?
When he had a house, he had a house. When he didn't have a house, he was in his car.
Okay.
So I live with my mom for the most part. And, it was me. I had two sisters growing up. I was the middle of both of them. Do you want me to go into like...
Yes. That's what we do here.
Okay.
Every single detail.
I was a bitch little kid. I was hella irritated by everybody. I didn't really enjoy... I didn't really think the college route was right for me. So I told my mom if she didn't want to waste her money, she could just send me straight to trade school. So I went to massage school when I was 17 because I graduated early. I got a job at Mama's Royal Cafe when I was 16 years old, and I worked there for 10 years. And I became the manager after a while. That's where I met this fool right here.
Fool? Who are you speaking of?
I'm speaking of you, Jordan. I met this man at Mama's Royal Cafe. And then he moved in right next door.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. But I've been doing massage for like 12 years now, and I went to pastry school. I was a pastry chef for a long time, and I pretty much worked so I could travel. So I've traveled the world. I've been to 4 continents.
Wait. You skipping shit. We ain't there yet.
You ain't giving me you ain't giving me shit.
So when you were working at Mama's Cafe, you was there for 10 years?
I was there for 10 years.
And why'd you leave?
I left because Pops got sick, and I was taking care of him, and I was about to choke a bitch out. I was so irritated with people at that point.
The service industry.
The service industry. I was like...
Who was you about to choke? Or was this on multiple
A
occasions?
bitch.
A bitch. You know, they
That can
come
be
in
anybody.
6 a.m. Oh, let me get some coffee. Bitch, I haven't had coffee. Like, I was getting mad at people for asking me for refills. They wanted me to, like, talk. You know, I was like, I don't care about you. I don't care about your mama. I am done. I'm out of here. So I quit when I was 26 and started working for myself, doing massage full time. Got professional organizing. I do professional organizing. I am nationally certified for that.
When did you finish massage school?
When I was 18, 2008.
Okay.
So I've been doing massage pretty much ever since then. And I'm in school still. I do all sorts of body work. I have like 7 professional certifications in total.
Can you name all these professions?
Sure. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a mind-body medicine practitioner. I'm an energy healing practitioner. I do professional organizing. I'm a pastry chef. I've done Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. And I'm working right now doing energetic assessment for medical energetic practitioner program.
What does Reiki mean?
Reiki is life force energy. It's a type of energy work that you use. It's an ancient Japanese technique that people use to align energies, clear out space, kind of ground you. It's extremely relaxing. It's very subtle. It's beautiful. It's deep.
And we are in your massage studio right now. Do you want to tell the people the name of this place?
The building doesn't have a name. The building is called Antioch Court. My massage business is Liana Vines, because that's what I was named after. Liana is a vine. I've had this place for just under a year. And before that, I was in Manzanita Wellness Clinic in Berkeley for about 4 years. So
now, a lot of people, when they hear about massage,
don't even go there.
They automatically think of happy endings. Has that ever presented itself to you?
It has. It has. Would you like me to go into that?
Yes, obviously.
When I was working at a spa in San Leandro, this dude used to come in every week and he would tip like $70, but he only wanted you to massage. He wanted a 2-hour massage and he only wanted it around his groin and on his ass. And my boss at the time was just like, he tips really well. He tips really well. Like, you should do it. You should do it. And I was like, bruh, I was like, bitch, I don't want to do that. I was like 22 at the time, maybe 23. And she was like, it's good money. Like, I was like, honey, don't promote this in your business. Like, you don't want people in there. Like, I went like, a bitch is professional. I'm not trying to do that. She was like, no, it's good money. It's good money. And I was like, so I went and massaged this he's like this old Egyptian dude. Whatever, I ain't mad, homie was fly. It's all good. But, I'm not trying to do that with the client. Anywho, after 2 hours of him wiggling on the table, he asked me to grab his dick. And I was like, bruh, I'm out. Like, I was like, I'm done. I'm fucking out of here. I left the room. It was just like, I'm never touching that motherfucker again.
So I have a question. Did he leave a big tip after you refused?
Motherfucker left $100 on top of paying for it.
He's probably embarrassed and was like, well, she didn't touch my dick.
Oh, no, he came back the next week. That motherfucker was back for the next week for another massage.
Did he request you, though?
Yes, but I was like, you do not get to work with me.
Why did you allow him to come back if he did that?
It's not my spa. I don't judge people.
So the boss knew that he said that to you and just let him back?
Mm-hmm.
She was doing grabbed his dick before.
Are you
yeah, of course.
More than that. You joking?
So your boss is fucking the clients. What spa is this?
I'm not about to tell you that.
Why not?
I'm a professional. No.
You don't work for them no more?
Undisclosed information. No, I got respect and I got boundaries. I ain't telling you that shit.
But we just know the boss was about her money.
She was about her money and she was about that. She was about getting that D. So, hey. But the man was married. I respect her and I respect her business. So, like, that's nobody's business, okay? That will come to me with my grave. What the boss
look like? She look good?
Not as good as me, but
Was she old?
Boom.
She's about 10, 15 years older
What
than me.
city was the spa in?
San Leandro.
Oh, yeah, I know what it is. I've been there a couple times.
Yeah.
Everyday celebrity is all about the tug after the rub.
You ain't coming here for that shit.
So have you ever massaged someone and that you were attracted to, and you slid your little finger closer than where it should be?
No, motherfucker, I'm a professional. What you talking about?
So
I
you
have a
never
very
massaged
strict rule.
someone that you were attracted
this
to?
way. I got a very strict rule. If I want to fuck you, I am massaging you. So if you come onto my massage table, I will, and I like you. I ain't massaging you anymore, and we finish it. However, I will tell you a story that you like. Not like on the table, like another day. Like I'll finish a massage. If you want to ask me out, I ain't never touching you again on the massage table. I will tell you a funny story though. You want to hear this?
Sure. I got
Yes.
questions, but yeah.
Oh,
I got a phone call from a Raider player,
Who?
Corey Toomer. And he called me, hit me
I
up.
don't
He was
know who
like
that
third. He was like third string. Like
Ron, you know who that is?
Practice squad, I don't.
Practice.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. He was just like some third string, whatever. And he called me one time, was like, "Yo, let me get a massage." And I was like, "All right, Brett." Like, so he
How did
had
he
a
find?
hotel,
Wait, you moving too fast. I want to know. How did he find you?
probably online somewhere. Like, I'm on Yelp, and I got I got 5-star reviews.
And
Whatever.
what year was this?
These unnecessary
2000.
details. Let's
Nigga,
get to the juicy stuff.
No,
2000.
I gotta hear the build up. 2014?
Yep, 2014.
It's like Jamarcus Russell when he was playing.
That's like 2010.
You know I'm not about to know that. Y'all can talk about that. So that's not anything I know about. I don't give a shit.
All right, go ahead.
So he hits me up. He was like, "Yo, I'm in town. We're setting up for practice or something like that. But like, I need a massage. I'm feeling really like injured and I'm sore and shit like that." I was like, "All right, bet." So I go to his hotel room in Alameda. This was before I had like a studio. So because I was doing mobile massage for a long time. So actually, this was like right before I got a massage studio. So I go over to his hotel room and I give him the whole massage and everything like that. And as I'm cleaning up, like I'm covered in tattoos. I was wearing like, crop pants and like a t-shirt or whatever. He's like, "Oh, where do those tattoos go? How far do they go?" And I was just like, "You trying to see?" And
Sounds like you were more interested in showing the tattoos than the
Exactly.
massage, but go ahead.
I finished the massage. I'm telling you, I keep my boundaries, So anyway, this was a very thin boundary. I'll put it to you that way. But one thing led to another.
No.
Okay?
He said, "Where do tattoos go?" You said, "You trying to see?"
I said, "You trying to see?" And he was like, "The fuck? Of course."
So you got naked right then and there?
Yeah. Straight up. Like,
right.
keeping it real.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, you know what?
Yeah,
All right, let me
bone
tell
around.
you one thing about me, though. I'm going to be real. You will not hear some bullshit ass answer from me. I will tell you what the fuck is up. And if there is some embarrassing shit that I did that happened, I'm not fucking shy about it. I really don't give a fuck. You can
All right. So
tell me
yeah.
all day.
We get it.
So, oh yeah, for sure, man.
So you got naked,
He had,
and then y'all
not
fucked.
to be TMI, he had the biggest dick ever. Like, for real. He
I
really
think we
did.
just reached the TMI portion of
Yeah,
this
you're welcome.
podcast.
You're welcome. You
for
asked.
sure.
Bro, you
We didn't
asked.
ask
Was it
shit
everything
about
you
the
wanted it to
dick.
be?
I just told you. I just said I'm about to go TMI.
Oh,
Was it
I don't-
was it everything you wanted it to be and
Nah,
more?
not really. Honestly, I got better, but I've had better.
Was it quick?
No, it was cool. It was
It
all
was
right.
just one time, and then it was like, all right.
No,
see
we did
ya.
a couple times.
You stayed the night at his hotel with him?
Man, fuck no.
Why
I'm gonna
not?
stick. Have you?
I don't.
I
know
mean,
how
to
the-
me,
how
I'm like,
groupies
all
get
right,
down.
I don't know if I'm the right girl to be talking about relationships like this because the way that I roll is very different than every other woman. Like, I'm not interested in cuffing. If I fuck you, I want to fuck you. If I want to date you, I'll let you know I want to
Yes,
date you.
that's the
But-
purpose why I invited you on the show.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he brought you in here with you're in the right room for this whole dynamic. Actually,
Because
Yeah,
I
it's the right
don't
space.
beat around the bush. I'm not one of those girls who's gonna be like, "I don't understand why you didn't like." No, I'm like, no, I would like to fuck you, and then I'm gonna leave because I'm not interested in talking to you. I just was down to fuck, and now I'm about to go because I'm done. So that's how I roll.
All right.
you should lead a seminar on that exact mindset. It would have helped my 20s out if you had a seminar for some people back then. But
Would've helped.
enough about me.
You know what? No, shit. We about to get into you in just a second.
I'm sure.
We about to get you in just a second. Anywho, yeah. So details
So that was
aside.
the first and only time you fucked somebody.
That was the
right
first
af-
and only
right
time that
after your massage.
That was the only time. Let me tell you, like, I massaged boyfriends before, but I have a very strict rule. You will not get on my massage table. It will be on the bed. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like,
But if it's
So-
your man,
so-
why would he get a half-ass massage? Because the
Yeah,
bed is a
exactly.
half-ass massage,
I
and it's
know.
more uncomfortable for you.
Sinking in the
but I'm
bed
not
and
gonna
shit?
fuck them on my table. Let me put it to you this way:
that
this
part I
table is
respect.
my table that I've had since my whole career.
Yeah, we're
I
not
ain't
talking
fucked
about that.
nobody on this table. So like, I'll give you a massage and then I'll fuck you in the bed later.
Yeah, that's what we're
that's
saying.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We're not saying,
I'm
oh,
I'm
this
not
table
like,
like
I will not fuck you on my table. That's
This
what
is
I'm
my
talking about.
profession, and you're not part of my business. You are my lover, not my business.
Exactly. Yeah. I keep my table very much like alone by itself. There's no action that happens on here. You want to smell it? You want to get a little closer?
I had to do it
You
just
had
to
to
fuck
do a little
around.
one
Just to
too.
fuck
I
around.
mean,
Ron
it's
just
all
leaned
good.
in and smelled the
fuck
table.
It's pretty
What
intact.
it smell
Other
like?
than those two little feet that are missing because I traveled with it, this table has been intact for at least 20 years because
Well,
I
first
had
of
it.
all,
It looks
there's a
quality.
dent
It looks
on it right
quality.
here.
That's probably because of you, motherfucker, with those
Nah.
fucking stands on the microphone.
All right. So boom. So you
All right.
so your massage and all that crap. All right. We'll get back to you later. Ron, where are you from?
I'm originally from Berkeley, currently reside in the town.
Now, when you say town, what is that?
You've been living here long enough to know,
I'm
but
talking
that's
about for
Oakland,
the people who
California.
don't know what the fuck
For my
town
folks,
is.
it's not Bay Area versus East Bay versus it's Oakland, California.
And you been all around the Bay Area, correct?
It's a pretty fair statement. Yeah, I have been around just a touch. Maybe around a little more than the Bay Area, but yeah, I definitely have.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Berkeley High and I also went to Skyline.
And what year did you graduate?
I was with the Dinosaurs. I graduated in 99.
Damn. All right, so so you graduated in '99. What did you do after high school?
After high school, I drifted a little bit. I didn't have a lot of direction, so I did what the average young man did. I just kind of went out and found my way. Worked a bunch of
Was that
worthless ass
selling
jobs.
drugs and
Selling drugs. I mean, I don't consider weed a drug per se. Maybe if we're going based off like what the laws were in 2002, 2003, yeah, I probably was breaking the law, selling what they would call drugs then. But I was never really into like trying to like sell weed or ecstasy or any of that shit. I had people that was getting down, but it just wasn't really my lane. I made the mistake of working hella jobs instead of just like following a passion early on. And so kind of now at this stage of my life, that's kind of where I'm at, like going after shit I want more so than just like feeling obligated to like work to pay a bill or some shit like that. Not that I'm not going to work and not get no money at the same time, but just my outlook on like where I'm putting all my energy is very different.
yeah, where are you putting your energy at now?
What day of the week are we talking about?
All right.
I'm currently a married man, so I put all my energy into my home,
So
my
you-
wife
you-
and my
you-
kids. But
your
I cut
cli-
hair Tuesday through Thursday in Berkeley at Johnson's Barbershop.
Where's Johnson's Barbershop at?
It's in Berkeley, California, man. It's on Sacramento.
Are you
Look us
the
up,
best
Sacramento,
barber in
Russell.
there?
Am I the best barber in there? I wouldn't go that far. I'm still in the middle of my apprenticeship, but I give quality haircuts. I'm a great listener. I'm a great conversationalist. My service is unmatched in there, that's for sure.
All right. So, have you ever used your white privilege before?
Have I ever used my white privilege? I think that every time I've attempted to think that I had an ounce of white privilege to use, I got confronted.
Be like, what?
Oh, well,
No, he's
I'm
white. You didn't know that?
Yeah,
But with what?
black and
Just white.
Shut the fuck up. So yeah, every time that I thought I had some white privilege that I could flex, I generally got met with the obvious get the fuck out of here. But generally I don't walk around thinking I'm a flex white privilege. I just walk around with the privilege that you're gonna respect me, and if you don't, then I just gotta, you know, meet your energy with the energy you give me.
All right. So you say you're married. I'm surprised you said that on national radio.
Hi babe.
So, so when did you get married?
I got married on February 16, 2017 in Hawaii on the beach, man. It was a real player. You should have
Well,
been
my
there.
birthday is February 18th. That was a good time to get married.
Facts.
Is this a happy marriage, or y'all just?
I'm still
there
married.
Just today?
I'm still married, so I think it speaks for itself.
That doesn't mean it's a happy marriage.
I think happy is a
Overused term.
overused term and almost a bullshit term, because happy is a fluctuating feeling for me, at least in my life. I don't know about you, but like,
Everybody.
you know, happy has its ebb and flows. One day I'm up, one day I'm down. Not like down like I'm down and out or nothing, but shit, like any other relationship. You know, I know some people that, you know, are actually like people that stay in relationships. Then I know people who are never consistently in relationships. So for my friends who are never in relationships, maybe you wouldn't understand how some days are good. You know, some weeks are better than other weeks, but for the most part, we complement each other very well. And getting married was probably one of the best decisions I ever made when dealing with a woman.
Is it an open marriage?
Yeah, we open to each other and all the growth that we need to like continue to seek from ourselves and from each other. But if you mean open as in, am I trying to like fuck other girls or any of that kind of shit? I'm not. I'm actually, one of my side hustles puts me in a position to see a lot of very lovely ladies at leisure. But my interest is just like, my forward thinking and where I'm just at in my life is not so much focused on getting some ass as much as it is and like making sure my house is, you know, on a quality trajectory.
All right, Liana, do you believe in marriage?
I would say I believe in marriage. I believe that it's right for some people. I would not say that it is something that is my main goal. I would say the quality of the relationship is more important than a ring and a piece of paper. However, to each their own, and you never know what's about to happen in your life. So I'm not dating to marry. I'm dating because I respect the individual that I am with.
Have you ever been in love?
Yes.
How long was your longest relationship?
10 years.
And he never proposed to you?
He did.
And you said no?
Yes.
Why? 10 years, you didn't know. I mean, you should have known he was the one or not by year 2.
We were on and off for 10 years. I wouldn't say we were like in a committed relationship for that entire time. Like we lived together for like 2 years. Through part of that. But I love him. He is a kind, sweet, good man, but he does not have the aspiration I hope for. His religious beliefs are not something that I appreciate, and I am definitely going extremely far in my life, and I need somebody who can match that.
So, from what I'm hearing, you guys are still in contact with each other?
Oh, yeah, I love that motherfucker.
Y'all still be fucking?
Oh, yeah, motherfucker, I love him.
What's his name? You want to shout him out?
Nope. You ain't gonna get no names really from me. I gave you one. I gave you one for the night.
You
That's
sound
it.
like you're a combination of Vlad TV and TMZ with some of these questions. God damn, you want to blast yourself completely out here.
All right, so let's talk about some topics that a couple people emailed me and said they want to talk about.
I know, right?
First dates. Do you have you ever slept with a person? I mean, I'm assuming yes, but have you ever slept with a person on the first date?
Do you need me to answer this question? Yes.
These people don't know you. I know you.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I have. I didn't date for the longest time.
No.
What? Keep continue.
I didn't ever want to date. Like I had a boyfriend when I was like 18, you know, but like for the longest time, I really didn't want a boyfriend. Like I lost my virginity at 15. So I was like, man, why do I want to date one person?
Okay.
That's how I felt. And then when I turned 18, then when me and my ex got together, it changed. But for the most part, I like to disappear. I like to do my own thing. I like to, you know, be myself and grow how I want to grow. I don't need somebody who wants to tell me how to live my life. So I wasn't down for that.
Do you have you ever had if you had a boyfriend, right? If you were with a boyfriend and he said that he wanted a hall pass, what would you say?
Do I get one too?
So that would be your answer?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But it depends. I think it really depends. And like, I'm interested for you to ask him these questions as well. I know that you're about to, because I'm intrigued to hear the other side.
Rush me.
Oh, excuse me.
Running this.
But I feel like it depends on how in love you are with the person. If you're so in love with somebody, you don't need a hall pass. If you're so in love that you don't need, I see that face. I see the faces of these men up in here.
That's not what you need. I'm talking about if he asked you.
So
would that be a deal breaker in a relationship?
If he did not tell me that he was cheating on me, it'd
Well,
be a
if he
deal
asks-
breaker.
if he asks for a hall pass and he's
if he
not-
asked me for a hall pass,
It's
my
only-
first response would be like, do I get one? Do I get one? What are the boundaries, right? So I'd be all right with it. But for me, it's like, okay, what do I need as a woman? As a woman, it's always the question of like, why am I not enough? Why don't I fulfill you completely? You know, that's always the woman's question going to be is like, why am I not enough for you?
Ever heard the saying, there's nothing better than pussy but new pussy? I don't even know how that verbiage is.
I know what
The best pussy is new pussy, something like that.
Yeah. And the whole thing is like, I've
Why you bring me here?
your wife's gonna hear this and be like, Ron.
I have said nothing yet, love.
No, I'm just fucking with you. You're a good man. Honestly, I think at the end of the day, when a woman's perspective is the main question, why am I not enough? Why do you feel like you need to go catch somebody else? Like, is there something I need to do? Am I not fulfilling? How I know as a woman who's done her work and who's tried to work on herself is like, I get it. You a man with a dick. You don't want to like have the same thing for all these years. I get it. I like to fuck around too. So like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fully have a 20-year relationship where I'm sorry to whoever the fuck is hearing this that I might be, you know, talking to, but I'm going to keep it real. Like I'm not, I have not always been the most faithful of ones. Okay. So
You seem like a
yeah, that's fine.
goddamn dog.
That's fine, bro. Like shit.
Wow.
I mean, I might as well be a man sitting here, right? Like that's the whole thing.
Nah.
Like,
I think it's fucked up to have the dynamics of like only men should be the type that cheat. I think people.
First of all, women cheat more than
I don't
I don't know
mean,
about more.
I
black
just
men
think
don't
humans cheat. Like motherfuckers have desires.
Yeah.
People are raised different perspectives. Because there's definitely some women out there who would not ask about the hall pass, and everything would be centered around. I guess it would. I won't say insecurity, but just the question that you were posing, like,
Yeah.
why am I not enough?
Exactly.
And I think that like the why am I not enough is a fair question to ask if you are having feelings around it, whether they're like insecurities, which I think would be the first feeling that would cause that question to be asked. Not that there's anything wrong with that because we all got them,
Yeah.
but
so what
for men like myself and some men that I know, being in a relationship and getting some new pussy isn't always about a woman not being enough that we love or that we care about. Sometimes it's just about the moment of getting some new pussy. Sometimes it's the excitement of the situation. Sometimes I'm in a situation and I'm functioning and I meet somebody that's fly as fuck and it's a moment. It's not always so much about investing in another person. I mean, obviously if you're having sex, you know, it's some energy is transferring for sure. But like at the same time, not in my current relationship, but in past relationships, I for sure had a girlfriend and fucked more than like 4 or 5 other girls in this relationship, but never had a desire to not be in a relationship with her. I was just in those moments and I wanted some pussy from somebody else. And it hurt some feelings because they couldn't handle that truth. But then when I tried to be extremely truthful about how like, all right, well, I would rather not be your dude because I'm going to do me. And when you leave, I'm for sure going to do me. So please don't allow yourself to catch feelings for me.
And I think that's hard. Go ahead. Sorry.
It seems like whenever I'm like in my past, when I was like really honest about what I did not desire because I knew what came with that would like draw people to like be in love faster. My dick game is decent too. So I think that was also part of that. Hey, you brought me on here to talk about this shit and you asking wild questions. Don't turn your head.
I know, right? Seriously. I'm like, we over here.
anyways, can I ask a goddamn question?
I guess.
Go ahead.
Since it's your podcast.
So Ron, what would you say to your wife if she came up to you and asked you for a hall pass?
I would ask her. I never really considered this question, so this is going to be probably like a really tongue-in-cheek, off-the-cuff answer. But for sure, the first thing I would think was that probably like our relationship is over from the standpoint of I find that most times when women in committed relationships decide they want to go out and fuck somebody else is because they didn't already detach themselves from whoever you are and whatever y'all had going on. And so being that I'm married, I would probably be trying to figure out what's next for where I'm going with the direction of my life.
Or be worried.
That's not to say that I'm into it or opposed to it. I'm definitely not into it, so let me not even act like I'm kind of open to it because I'm not sharing my wife with nobody else.
So what if so you said no, right? And what if she would say, well, can we bring someone else in the bedroom? What if you? Yeah, like she said, she wanted to have a threesome with you and somebody else.
As long as their main body part had a crease and it didn't dangle, I could be open to it. But even then, I'm not in the threesomes with my partner. I was in a relationship with somebody who was in the threesomes but couldn't decide what they like more, and that was okay with me. But for me, it was strictly sexual, and for them, they couldn't decide if it was sexual or emotional. Romantic. And so for me, I'm not entertaining that with somebody I want to be with just because I seen with the everybody's like, oh, blood had a threesome. Oh, I did this, I did that. But it's some flip side to that shit too, when it's like your woman and not just somebody you just fuck with. And I don't think a lot of people have those in-depth conversations about how that shit works out. And I think men encounter feelings they didn't know that they was gonna have about situations like that, as well as women. But yeah, babe, I'm not handing out no hall passes. So if you come at me with that shit, it's over.
Well, I think the other thing also is that for women when they cheat is that we're not cheating because we just want to fuck. We're cheating because we're not getting something out of it, right? It's more of an emotional thing. Like if I want to cheat on you, it is not about, and I will say this, I have already ended the relationship, but still like we've been together, it's like, it's not like, I'm like in love with this person and going to like fucking around. Like, I'm not going to say it like that, but a woman cheats for a very different reason. It's because she's not emotionally, mentally, or physically getting something that she needs. For a man, I think it's a little bit different. They're just like, they see some fine ass woman. They're like, the moment hits them, they're like, it presents themselves. It might be different, right?
She don't got to always be that fine. It could just be a scumbag night.
Bruh. Period.
Niggas is out here fucking watermelons.
Oh yeah, exactly. But like, for example, like to me, I'm not going to encourage any man to cheat. Like, I definitely have an ex-boyfriend who comes into my job and definitely tries to hit. Motherfucker, I see you, right? But he's got a woman. He's got a baby, like him and I were together before the baby and everything like that. And now it's like he's trying to hit. I'm not, again, we not saying names, bruh. So
I fuck with her tough. I fuck with her real tough. I just met her today, but I fuck with her tough.
What'd you say?
I said I just met you today, but I fuck with you.
All right, bruh. I see you. Hell yeah. But he like comes in and it's like when him and his girl were on the rocks, like they weren't really together. He wasn't living with her. All right, cool. That's cool. Like, you did that shit. That's his problem, right? But you told me he wasn't, you weren't living with her.
So basically he lied to you just to fuck. Because he was with
that ain't shit. You tell me. Listen, the whole thing is that what women do is they overthink. Is he still with her? I'm gonna take you at face value. You say I don't want a relationship. I'm fucking crazy. Oh, okay. You don't want a relationship and you're fucking crazy. I know hella women who are just like, he's not crazy. He doesn't need to be like that. He doesn't mean it, bitch. That's not true.
All right. So you said that, right? So why is it so hard for women to forgive men when they cheat, when they know the guy don't give a fuck about the girl? It's just boom.
Because they know that it's something more than women, they think a lot. They have a lot of emotions. They're raised to talk about their feelings and to express themselves. And when somebody doesn't express themselves or can't be honest with you and can't communicate the same way, and you can't give a man what he needs, that's like diminishing. That hurts you. That's like,
no, you're not listening to my question.
Okay.
I said, why is it so hard for women to forgive a man if they know that when men cheat,
forgive a man? Oh, I see.
It's just, I'm just trying to like nut
because
real
it was
quick,
the honesty.
It doesn't even mean anything.
It was the honesty. If you're going to cheat on a woman, if my partner, if him and I are in love, right?
Go ahead. I just need to chime in next.
Yeah, but I want to hear the other side too. Like, if the man that I love decided to cheat on me and I found out about it, I'd be like, if you were unhappy, why didn't you just say something to me, right? If you needed to go, like, that's why it's so hard to forgive. It's not necessarily because he went and fucked another woman, but it's like, you lied to me. You either told me that you didn't cheat, that I was everything that you needed. Like, it's the illusion that these fools fucking tell you that they're everything, like, everything's fine when it's not. That's what gets me. Go ahead.
I think that is a very fair viewpoint as far as like if somebody is like creating illusions of what is and what isn't. Mm-hmm. But it was something that you said that really jumped out at me, and you spoke of honesty. And so I'm curious, when you're in a relationship, how often do you inquire about your partner's faithfulness? Because like in situations where I've cheated, it hasn't really been like a dishonest situation outside of the fact that I'm in a committed relationship with you and I just didn't express to you that I fucked somebody else. But it's not like oh, I'm going to be at Jordan's house.
Yeah, don't bring me in it.
And me and Jordan going out to the bar and to the club, and then I end up fucking some chick.
Shit.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is where I would see like as a dishonest. Obviously, you know, I'm being a little petty here because it's dishonest to still go out and fuck somebody else. But like, the main portion of the question that I think that is being missed is like, if you feel that men are primal and you think that men are just in line for sure to have one-offs here and there, like if you are aware of this one-off, then why is it such an emotional issue, or why is it such a big deal if you're aware of the one-off coming?
And I think that that's what's kind of difficult for women is that because like, for me, I've been around enough dudes. I've like slept with enough dudes. I've been in enough relationships that's like, I'm going to accept you for who you are. If I know that you're a dog when I get in a relationship with you, I'm going to know you're a dog by the time you cheat on me. Right. But not everyone is like that. Not everyone's going to think that. They're going to think, oh, he's in love with me and this is not how he is. You have to understand people for who they fucking are. Right.
I agree.
Why would you get with him if you know? Why would you be in a relationship if you know he was a dog?
Fun
because he was fine as shit.
He was with the movie.
He had a nice car. No, motherfucker. You fall in love with people, right? Like sometimes you can't always like tell why you're attracted to somebody. It's not because of their looks, you know. Like one of my last boyfriends, he was ugly as shit, but I still was into him.
You got to tell us his name now. I'm just messing with you.
Man, his name is Nathan. Fuck him.
Damn, Nate.
Nathan, what?
No.
That's where we draw a line, Boosa.
Yeah,
Come on,
exactly.
man. We just wanted his first name.
All right, so since we're on the subject of cheating,
that was hella fun.
what are some, if you had a boyfriend, right?
Nice catch.
What are some things that you would forgive your boyfriend as far as cheating? I mean, what do you think is too far? Like fucking or kissing, or if like just simply texting another girl?
I've been jealous about all of it. My, you know, obviously, but I have cheated and I have been cheated on. A limit for me would be if I think there's an emotional connection. Like, if you went out and you didn't tell me and you went and fucked a girl and you've seen her more than a couple times and y'all be texting and like, you know, you go and see each other, that's a fucking crossing the line. Like there's an emotional element that you're dipped out. If you are drunk and out one night, I'm interested. Like
I've been in every one of these perspectives, and I think that sometimes that's just what you got to do to line them some ass.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And the whole thing is like, you know, I don't need to be in a relationship with somebody who wants to be doing that. Like, to me, I believe in a committed relationship. But at the same time, we talk about a hall pass. Now, a hall pass is different than cheating, right? It means that we communicated about it and we both have agreed that we can go do some shit. It doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all and that we have an open relationship.
I don't believe in these agreements. Hall passes is just a reason to argue for the next 6 months to a year if y'all last that long after you hand that shit out.
So, Ron, what you're saying is...
Ask me a question. Don't paraphrase.
So what you're saying
I'm
is...
so sorry. No, you're right. You're right, honestly.
What you're saying is, in order to like get some pussy, you have to like build a relationship in order to get it.
I don't think every situation
and then women see that as you having feelings for them, and you're telling them it's not.
I think it just depends on the woman you're trying to cheat with or what the situation is. I don't think that every situation has to be we need to meet up for some coffee and get to know each other before you let me smash. But at the same time, I've been in positions where those dynamics definitely existed, but it wasn't because we were trying to get to know each other to like build a relationship. It was more like I just met you and you was a cool ass person and we kind of vibed, but like at no point in time was my interest anything past like kind of just being your partner and getting some ass. Like my favorite position to be in when I was single was really to just be somebody's like, be my homie, be my folks. We could talk, keep it real with each other the whole night. We could fuck. I'm gonna treat you good. I'm gonna respect you. But when you leave, I'm not disrespecting you when you leave. I'm just doing me when you go. And if you're assuming that you have to have like some rights to me or some like clamps on me where like this shit is affecting your life when I'm doing me away from you, then that's not for me. But like if we can be like really good friends, like fuck, do shit we like to do, and like all that other shit will work itself out. But when you just start trying to like put titles on shit, force shit on people, like create energy that's not exactly there because you want it to be there. You know, some people have ulterior motives when they go into these situations. I've definitely have told people I don't want to be in a relationship. I want to just be your friend. And that motherfucker want to be like my wife like 6 weeks later, like crazy shit.
Is this old girl you talking about?
Old girl?
What's her name again?
There are a ton of old girls. Which old girl are you referring to? I've been knowing you for quite some time. I've gone through a few since I've known you. Most notably, I won't say her name, but when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I dated an older lady who was fly as fuck. Still got love for her. When I see her daughter at the Star Line, I'm probably gonna smoke a joint with her right outside the door. When I see her son, I'm probably gonna smoke a joint with her son. But I tried to keep it a band with her and tell her, like when I met her, like, I'm interested in you. I really like fucking on you. You know what I mean? We really cool. We do a lot of shit together, but I'm also like, you're 51, I'm 30. What we like long term, this ain't no real situation for a relationship. But we could for sure be solid as fuck for a long time. And, one thing led to another, and I love you, and I don't care about our age, and we can make it work. And I was like, yeah, I'm not signing up for that. Then I became all kind of assholes and all kind of shit like that. But I feel like if that energy wasn't forced on me, then we probably... Well, I don't know if we would be friends in the way we were friends before, but just with my life being where it is. But it would definitely be a situation where we could be like very cordial, cool, check on each other. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what's difficult about that is that you can't always like hide your feelings.
True.
It's like you really can't hide your feelings. And like, I know that me being on this podcast, being how I'm speaking to y'all, I'm gonna be the bitch in this whole situation because I know other women are gonna be here. No, but I know other women will be hearing this and be like, "That's not how it is."
The age of the Me Too shit, and women are.
But you know what? No, like that's what my whole thing is. Like I'm all about respect. My whole thing is like I come at with respect. If you come at me with a respectful ass relationship, I'm gonna come at you with respect. If you start acting like a little bitch and you acting like how retarded, I'm gonna be like, fool, you a child, right? And like I'm gonna treat you like a child, but I'm gonna have fun with you. Hey, I don't discriminate. But like I think at the end of the day, it's really challenging to be able to have a man be able to understand a woman's perspective and have a woman be able to fully engage and understand a man's perspective because our emotions are extremely different. The way that our brains work is completely different, right? We have different ways that we feel. You've expressed to me that marriage is not exactly in your forte, right?
Wait, who?
You.
This ain't about me.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely not in his forte.
No, not at all. And like, if you and I had ever done whatever, right? And I tried to force something on you, I'd be a fool because shit, I know who you are, right? And I'm not saying that you're a good man, like you respectful man, you cool, you sexy, all that jazz, right?
Who's this man you're speaking of?
This is Jordan, okay? The man who's on Everyday Celebrity Podcast.
Thank you, everybody.
Blowing him out, he's a fine motherfucker, right?
Continue.
But but at the same time,
he's enjoying this too much.
That it ain't wrong to compliment somebody, and I think that women have a really hard time with that. Women have a really hard time not being honest, feeling really insecure, not knowing, like, feeling like, when am I going to find the one? When am I going to get married? And it's just like, girl, chill the fuck out, like, calm down. Don't try and pine out for a man who is not trying to fucking have anything serious with anybody or who's just not interested in you. It doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't want to commit. It's just, maybe it's not you. Why are you trying to pine after somebody who's not interested in you?
But sometimes, people, like, I for sure have been a dude that have not been interested in a girl, but the sex was cool. And so I definitely have treated people like they were a convenience. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that I've grown just as a person and how I treat people and how I want to be treated, that I don't treat people like that anymore. Mm-hmm. Shout out to growth. But I've definitely treated people as convenience and kind of like you, just some ass for the moment.
Yeah.
And it's been so blatantly obvious. And in those situations when they find that they love me, I'm trying to figure out what was the major malfunction along the lines between birth and this point in life and how they got to the point where they fell in love with somebody who was as much of an asshole as I was.
But that's the whole thing, is that women are born and raised to, like, nurture and develop and, like, like, we're out here, like, we like people needing us. We want to be needed ourselves, and that's why people get caught up.
Well, the town is known for players. So what I want to say is I don't want to put it all on women, because she sounds like a female player to me. A lot of her perspective is not one that falls in line with a lot of the ladies that I speak to on a regular. So to be honest with you, I appreciate her perspective. Do I think that I could have a woman with the similar perspective that I have, which it feels like we have a similar perspective? I don't know. But the shit is crazy. I mean, I think all of it generates first and foremost from just being selfish, even if it's unintentional, but the selfish desire to have what you want, and also the desire to have what you kind of can have, because people always want some shit they can't have. Even the most grounded motherfuckers, even somebody with a lot of money, you know, maybe not even always be focused around money, but like it's always something that is not for you that you want to have.
Of course.
And I feel like it just fucking sucks when it becomes between like, you know, just person to person. I won't label male or female just because we in the town as well. And the town is very non-binary and you can be whatever you want to be. So person to person, shit just sucks when somebody has way more feelings than they should.
All right, so let's change the next question. So if you were in a relationship, right, would you feel uncomfortable if your partner's best friend was the opposite sex? And they were like chilling, hanging around each other, spending the night at each. It's like she was like he or he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna spend the night at so
like if my wife's best friend was a dude, and she's like, "Oh, I'm finna go take the kids over there. We staying over there." Yeah,
exactly.
Y'all could be cool.
That's a loaded question.
Homies,
that's a loaded question because it depends on the history of the relationship, how cool she is with me. Like to me, again,
they're like best friends, like. Best friends.
Male female dynamic best friends for like 20 years.
He doesn't want
been
to
like
fuck
fucking
her
off and on for years for sure.
She wanted to fuck him. Like for example, now like.
So wait. Before you get into that, so what you're saying is you wouldn't be down, you wouldn't allow it, or you will feel.
I think that's a loaded question. I would say that I would like to think that I'd be okay with it. However. Right? And that's an honest question. I'm not trying to give you like, I want to give you as a direct answer as possible.
Yes, that's what Everyday Celebrity is about.
All right. But, motherfucker. But at the same time, I think that like, I'm going to give you for example, dude who I've been fucking with 10 years, you know, loved him. One of his best friends and roommate is a dominatrix woman. She's cool as fuck. And they have been friends for hella long. They used to work together. I would not suspect one shred of it.
Because she's unattractive.
She's dominating him.
She ain't attracted to him. She is not attracted to him. And
that's the only reason you feel that way, right?
No, not necessarily. Like he got when back in the day, she had a boyfriend who was super jealous of my dude, and it was because they thought they were fucking together. But I knew at the end of it that this chick was so not interested in him. Like she was just like thought of him as like a brother. And now that they live together and everything like that, she's cool as shit. In that situation, I'm not really worried about it because her and I have had some real talks. I've talked to him about it. I can sense what's going on between the two of them. So that's the whole situation where I'm like, man, she's practically naked walking around the house. She got a stripper pole in the middle of the fucking house. She's got naked pictures everywhere, you know, like, and I'm over there spending the night, you know, all this kind of shit, and it's all good. Do I think that they've ever slept together? I don't think she'd ever want to sleep with him, if I'm perfectly honest.
Well, I'm going to tell you, they slept together before.
Yeah, but even if they did, though, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if.
Ain't no way in hell a dude is going to be living with a chick.
Let me put it to you this way. If he was here right now, if he was here instead of me talking to y'all, I hope he would be honest with y'all.
Yeah, be
but
honest.
like,
he would have said I fucked her like randomly one night. That's what he would say.
You know what? I'm under the belief of like, I actually never asked him if he ever slept with her because I was never even that curious. I was just like, I wasn't really worried about it. To me, when I trust somebody, I'm going to trust you. If I don't trust you, then we got issues. Then I'm going to be suspecting shit. Then I'm about to be jealous. But like, if I trust you, shit, bruh, like you do you. I'm not going to go through your phone. I'm not going to worry about where you're going at. I'm just going to say, you do you. I do me. I'm going to trust that I'm not going to go out and fuck some random dude. I'm going to trust that you're not going to go out and fuck some random girl. But what happened before us and what happens after us is not in my business.
Facts.
So, Ron, you're saying that I don't care. She can't have a man as a best friend.
I'm not saying I don't care. When I first got with my wife, she had a group of men, a group of friends. Some were married men, some were single men. And I think that it can be weird. I'm not generally an insecure type of dude. Like if you my girl, I'm going into it like you my girl. I'm really good with picking up on energy and vibes. And so some of the dudes that were a part of this whole clique of friends that she had were hella cool and hella chill. Like I went to an event where all these motherfuckers was hanging out. And so, you know, a few of the dudes walk up, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? You want a drink? You know, you smoke, you know, we got food over here, whatever. Then it was like two other cats who walked up. One of them gave her a hug and kind of turned his back on me and didn't even speak. And I was like, huh.
Ooh,
interesting.
Noted.
And so like, you know, I know bitch assness when I see it. I didn't have an issue with it, but I was like, you know, noted.
Slightly concerning.
Then there was another dude who also, I had like, during this podcast, I'm watching the 49ers Green Bay Packers game.
I'm watching it as well, actually. If I'm honest with you, I see it.
And so during this time, it was the playoffs and I had the game on my phone. So the one dude who was very standoffish, but because I had the playoffs on my phone, was talkative a little bit. But so both these fools had just some weird ass energy. And I was like, you know, I can't really put my finger on it. But the fat nigga, I'm going to just put it out there. I hope you listen to this. I'm not going to say your name. Because your fat ass don't even deserve to be famous. And if you make another light-skinned joke, I'm probably going to slap you. But this fat nigga, I knew for a fact from the moment, I was like, he for sure wants to fuck you. And I generally don't give a fuck because if I'm fucking you now, it don't really matter who wants to fuck you. But if your energy is that of like, you know, for lack of a better term, bitch-ass nigga, I'm probably gonna scope that shit out and not really be with the movement. So later on down the line, I talked to my wife. Yo, what's up with dude? Like, he tried to fuck you before. Oh, well, you know, I mean, he's never really tried to get at me. One night we were drinking and he kind of had put it out there that if it was ever good, he'd be with the movement. And I was like, oh, I seen the whole thing. And, you know, dude works in corporate. And so he tried to be like, oh, I didn't even notice that I didn't speak to you. But nobody works in corporate and does not understand social etiquette. Hello, hi, how are you? Even if you fake as fuck, which we know a lot of corporate interactions are. So, you know, would I be opposed to a male best friend? I wouldn't be opposed to it, but it would be a dynamic. It couldn't be no situation where like, all that shit you described, you going to spend a night at this motherfucker's house and y'all laying around in the house.
I mean, but also as a grown ass woman, as a grown ass man, why are you spending the night at anyone's house other than the person that you sleep with?
Yeah, because if you live with me and you don't come back to sleep here tonight and you're not out of town,
we're gonna talk about it.
If you're not out of town, and that's
but also like,
so I
don't know.
You want him to drive home drunk instead of just spending the night.
Gotta drive home. Yep, and
catch an Uber.
And ladies, check the child lock before you get in the Uber. This abduction shit is real. But back to the podcast. Yeah, catch an Uber. I'll come pick your motherfucking ass up.
Like,
what are
honestly,
you doing so
exactly,
drunk with somebody else though? Like,
like to me, I think it's
corporate happy hours, free
get
bars.
Shit
That's
like
how
that.
shit goes down.
But like, honestly, in my opinion, I think that like, if you're a grown ass person, why the fuck are you spending the night at your friend's house? You got your own house. You gonna spend the night at your own fucking house. Like,
I'm at the point in life too where I'm not dating nobody that's not responsible enough.
Exactly. I'm like, you ain't got a car. You ain't got your own apartment.
No, I'm just talking about on the like, you get so drunk that you black out. Like, it's cool to get drunk and we all get faded. Everybody in this room is probably backed out before. I know for a fact this nigga in front of me has. And so with that being said, you know, that's a one-off situation. But just like, if you got so drunk to the point where you was gonna black out and you didn't think to call your man to be like, yo, I kind of need you. Are you really my girl?
Yeah, I agree. And like, my whole thing is that like, I used to drink a little bit more than I do. Like, I work at a bar, right? So like, I see drunk motherfuckers all day long. I'm so good off of that shit. But like, I don't really ever drink like that. I've been blacked out. I've been drunk only a couple times like that in my life because, man, I respect myself. I actually like how I feel the next day. Like, I want to know, like, that I'm not being violated. Like, you know, being, like, even doing drugs and shit like that. Like, I was never that into drugs. Like, I'll do some here and there, but, like, you're not about to see me out of my element, not being able to control myself or, like, be supportive and like know how I'm gonna get home, make sure I got my keys, right? And that's why like the people that I hang out with, the people who I'm cool with, they are solid people. They know how to get home. They got their own place. They got their own money. They got their own car. They're responsible. Like, those are the people that I fuck with. That's why when somebody comes in, this motherfucker, not you, sorry, but this motherfucker, my ex-boyfriend who came into the job like 2 weeks ago.
This episode is about this nigga anything.
But there's like five of them. What you talking about?
You love him.
But he came in not only blowed out on he was blowed out by the time he got there. Then he got shit-faced drunk. And when I got off work, he tried to come into my car. I was like, I kicked that motherfucker out. I told the security guard about him. I was like, you gonna catch an Uber home? You are not touching me. You are not getting in my car. Like, you gonna get out? You're gonna go home. You're gonna go with your baby mama and like leave my fucking ass alone. You're the one who came to my job unannounced. Like, you're not going to, you know, that's my whole thing. It's like, man, you need to be able to control yourself. Like, you're a grown-ass man with responsibility. Like, that's what are you doing?
If you ever listen to this podcast, my guy, it sounds like your baby mama was an accident. And that's all I got to say about that. That's what I keep hearing is it was an accident.
It was an accident. You know what? Hey, it's all people his daughter is adorable. She is beautiful.
Yes, yeah,
his baby mama, I've never met her. She seems like a good woman.
She's
but,
the accident. My first baby mama is the
They
accident.
go
Trust
come
and
on the
believe.
show.
The first baby mama is always the accident.
But he's still trying to be with her and all that kind of stuff. But then why are you trying to be with her and trying
Does
to
he
talk
have a
to
good
me?
job?
He's a barber.
He's up.
Oh yeah.
Makes enough money. Yeah.
Now that we're on the job subject, this next question is: would you, if you were dating someone, right, your significant other, let's say he or she lost a job, right, and you were the only one working, would you care if like 6 months go by, a year goes by, he still wasn't working? Would you stay with him?
Now that's not a fully formed question because is he looking for work?
Yes, he's looking for work.
Okay, if he's looking
Wait,
for
he's
work,
If you
looking
unemployed
for
a year,
work.
your ass ain't looking for work.
He's-
yeah, I was about to say that's not that hard.
Well, he's telling you he's looking for work. He's just saying, yeah. I mean,
Are we living together? Like,
So
is
yes,
this the
you got-
whole? All
He
right,
leaves
the
and goes
whole
to the
the whole
library
picture
for
is we're living
Yes,
together.
you're
He
living
lost
together.
his job.
Lost
He's
his job.
looking quote unquote for work.
Exactly. Would you stand by him?
I'd be like, I'm not a nagging kind of person. You're a grown ass man. If I'm not about to help you pay for bills that are not mine, if it's a joint bill situation, I'll help you make sure your phone is on. I'm not going to buy you clothes. I will buy groceries. I will pay for, make sure the lights are on and that the car insurance is paid. But anything else, that ain't my problem. Like, now my whole thing is that like, that might not be a popular opinion. However, if I'm pulling my weight, you got to pull your weight.
Now, what if
you're
he's
not looking
spending
for-
some of your money?
Now, I've been in a situation. No, let me say this. My sister has been in a situation where she was paying for a motherfucker that did not deserve to be paid for. That shit is rough to watch. I have been in a relationship where my dude has been working and I bought him things because he'll get me things. That's like, you know, a dual situation.
If you got anybody worth anything in front of you and you got some money in your pocket and you're not willing to spend it on them, you probably shouldn't have had them in front of you. Because if you don't value them in that way, they probably not valuing you in that same
And I
way
like,
either.
you know, there's the 5 love languages, right? Do y'all know what those are?
Enlighten us.
All right. So the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, affection, physical touch, gifts, like physical gifts, acts of service, and then what's the last one? Bruh. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but everybody has
sure
their
there's 5?
dominating. There's 5, but I just can't think of the last one. Whoever's listening to this, I know you about to know all the last one.
What's your
you know
love
what it is.
language?
My love language is acts of service and physical touch, and then I'll do gifts, right? I would say, actually, no, let me put it to you this way. Words of affirmation and acts of service. Those are my top 2. I will tell you how wonderful you are. I'll tell you how amazing you are. I will build you up. I will make you feel good. I'm not about to tell you what you're doing wrong with your life. You look for a job, but you can't find one. I'm going to encourage you. What do you feel good about? What's feeling good for you? So for me, I'm not about to be over there being like, why don't you have a job yet? You ain't paid these bills. I'm going to be like, okay, obviously that job didn't work out for you. Like, what works for you? If you really just can't do this is like my stepdad. He hasn't worked in I don't know how long, right? My mother supports him. Why the fuck she does that is none of my business, right? That's her relationship. That's not my problem. I don't like that motherfucker, but again, that's not my problem, right? In my opinion, we're 2 grown-ass people. I'm going to pull my weight, you pull your weight, and we going to spoil each other, right? That's how I feel. I'm going to leave the floor open. Pass the baton.
Me personally, I mean, I've been in that situation where my woman has held me down. I'm not the best employee. I got a bad attitude. I don't give a fuck about your microaggressions at jobs and shit. And so I find that I'm in a position now where I'm just trying to be on some entrepreneur shit and also trying to acquire some property. So that like the confines of having to work to like take care of shit is not as big of a deal. Kind of have shit take care of for me. But like, would I stay in a relationship long term if a motherfucker was like doing nothing for themselves? Like, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as my lovely co-guest here. Like, I'm down. I got you. I'm gonna hold you down if I care about you and love you. But like at the same time, I do have like a point where there's gonna be a pivot to like, if you're not handling shit, it's only gonna be so long. I agree with not nagging at first. I agree with being very encouraging. But like, if that shit is not leading towards anything like substantial, it's not gonna be able to work for me because I'm not here to take care of grown-ups. You know, people got moms and dads for that shit.
All right. I looked up the 5 really quickly.
Hey.
Words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and receiving gifts. So it's quality time.
I'm definitely down with the quality time. I'll shake all my friends to make sure I'm holding my women down.
That's your love language, quality time?
Hell yeah.
Say it again.
Your love language is quality time, you say?
For sure. When the last time I went out with you for a drink versus being at home with my wife and my kids and taking care of what I love the most?
I mean, nigga, you got 3 kids. That's probably
The fuck that got to do? This motherfuckers with 10 kids that don't take care of their kids. I got a partner right now who's finna be on number 8, and I'm not gonna even mention how many baby mamas. And he love all his kids to death, but he don't fuck with all his kids like that. So you know what I mean? I'm talking about quality time, like not just quality.
We call
time
that
with my
wrap
kids,
it up.
But quality time isn't like. Next month, I'm taking my wife to the St. Francis Hotel. We're gonna do the spa package and everything.
Hey,
like,
that's a nice hotel.
it really is.
Yeah, that's a nice place.
Quality time is like y'all take these goddamn kids, grandmothers, and let me go spoil my wife for the night and take her get a room.
Hey, look at this, man. I
run
see
his
you.
dick up, get some drink. My wife smoke weed. We're gonna get on and fuck like crazy at the top of the thing with a nice view of the bay.
Niggas gonna be arguing.
No, fuck no.
We might actually argue that night, but I'm still gonna run it up on that ass. We still gonna get nice massages.
That's another thing about arguing, though. I'd like to say that. I don't know if you got another question, but I would like to say I think people get so stressed out that arguing is such a bad thing in a relationship. It's like I'm not one to argue. I'm not necessarily one to pick a fight, but like at the same time, why are we so worried that an argument is the end of a relationship? To me, it's like sometimes you can't agree on everything, but it's also. If you're choosing to argue for the sake of arguing is one thing, right? However, if you cannot agree on something and you are so wound up in your own mind that you cannot see the other person's perspective, maybe you need to take a step back. I think
the shit we argue about like 4 times a week is like dinner. Oh, you didn't put no fucking gas in the car, but you want to switch cars, and I got the gas on E and shit. But like, you know, I'm talking
about like serious arguments.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I got some emotional triggers where I didn't definitely like spaz out and had some like fuck you, get the fuck out of my face moments. But at the same time, like where I'm at in the process of just who I am as a man, as a family man, as a husband, like after I'm in that space and I have a minute to calm down, that's not to say it's okay to flash on people and then apologize later, but I definitely take time to like sit with myself and ask myself, was it necessary for me to go that hard? Was it necessary for me to really just be that big of an asshole? And sometimes it is, but even in those moments, I'm so mindful of like how it's affecting my lady that I'll come back later on in like real life and have a sit down.
Exactly.
And allow her to express how she feels, but also like come with like the most humble apology. Because it comes from a real place of me wanting to like be smooth with my lady. And although I may have been triggered, although I may have like flashed on you, and obviously never in a physical format, just only in, you know, conversation, but having to come back and reassure her that, you know, even if we're going to argue and be upset with each other, I love you. And that's not like the ongoing energy I want to have.
I think that's a really important thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just would like to say this is that like, you know, I think it's hard for a lot of people. I won't just say men. It's a lot of people to apologize. Like when they flash and they get triggered, they don't want to accept the fact that they were triggered. They don't want to accept the fact that they were in the wrong. And I think that's a big point is like, if you can accept the fact that you were in the wrong and that you can come back and apologize and be like, yo, I thought about it and I don't really like how I went about it. I still feel this way. This still hurt me. But I don't want to be like that. That's to me is like, man, that's cool. Like, I don't need you flashing on me, sure. But like, at the same time, I get it. We all get angry. We all got triggers. Like, but if you're man enough to come to me and say, I'm sorry for how I treated, and I come to you and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to trigger that because I know that about you. Right. That's huge. Like, and I think people have a really hard time with that. And they want to do this, like, you know, I don't necessarily want to call it childish games, but they want to.
It's childish too. It's childish
where they're just like, you said this and da da da, and they just want to keep the drama on. It's like, man, I don't need drama in my life. Like, fuck, I don't need that shit.
I've been in a situation where I know people, people as close to me as my father, who can sometimes employ the like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And that shit is cool in the moment when you're not giving a fuck, when you all like fired up. But like, you know, most people that don't give a fuck usually care more than the person they're trying to tell they don't care. So, I don't want to be that person. And when I find myself in that energy, I got to find ways to get the fuck away from that because that's not my best me.
And somebody who doesn't let you leave, you need to question that too. If you say I need to leave and take some time, let that man leave. Let that man walk away for a minute and let him come back because you don't want to aggravate the situation.
No, it's facts. Because I definitely did the, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, I need you to get the fuck away from me.
And that's because,
more in the back to smoke, leave me alone.
That's because me. If you don't get out of my face, we gonna throw some fucking hands. Like, I'm not a fucking.
I'm thinking of somebody right now who constantly used to do that to me.
Oh man, it's so irritating. Like, I get it. I've been in one physical altercation in my life with a dude, and it was because neither of us got out of each other's face. It was because both of us were amping each other up. And I'm not proud to say this, but I choked that motherfucker because I was like, man, fuck you.
You choked him first?
Yeah.
Did he hit you?
Nah. I mean, he pushed me around, but I wouldn't say he hit me.
Did you call the police on him?
He called the police on me.
Say he hit
He
you.
called the police on you.
Yes, he did.
Is this the barber?
Mm-hmm.
I want to give that nigga a high five when I see him.
Yes, but when
I've
the
been in a
police
domestic
came,
altercation myself
he
that I
got
did not
arrested.
start, and I did react, and I did go to jail. On
And the
some
whole
domestic
thing,
shit,
and the whole
but
thing is that like
I should have called the police first myself because
exactly
I was
okay,
attacked
and,
first.
and the
that's
whole
just
thing was that
impressive.
like
You
in
call the
that
police,
situation,
you got to go to jail.
he
Even
ended
if
up
you call
calling
the
them back
police.
and they didn't come, right? Because like so the whole situation
My
happened.
girl just hit me in with a frying pan. Sir, we're not coming out for that. Was it one
No,
of those?
no. He called and was just like, me and my girl are having an argument. Like, you need to come out here, right? Or like she hit me or some shit like that.
It's a black dude?
And then he called me, and then he called them back and was just like, cause like I was just
cool.
like, fuck, bro. I was like, all right. And obviously like I knew it was because both of us were fucking trashed. We were fucking
That's the worst time
trashed,
to
man.
argue. That's the worst time
And
to argue.
like I was pissed because he had just cheated on me. I was suspecting some shit. I'm not a proud moment of this. This is the whole night of the non-proud moment. I was
So
suspecting
you went through
some
his
shit.
phone.
I went through his phone.
Yeah. So
you
I found a video
Wait a
of
minute,
him
stop.
getting head from an ex of his.
So you contradicted yourself. You do go through the phones.
I told you there have
said
been
you
times
never
where I
go for it.
have.
So getting head is cheating? It is. I just wanted you to
Yeah,
confirm that.
yeah.
No,
For
she's
sure,
about
for
to
sure.
say no, it's not.
No, I had to register and think about what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
It's kissing cheating.
I found. God, that's a difficult
I
question.
think
You
so.
know what I mean?
You ever saw Pretty Women Don't Motherfucking Kiss? That's how you get caught up.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, like,
kiss
you know,
these
you don't
hoes.
know who's
Wait,
about
wait,
to
You
wait,
see
kiss
you.
these hoes?
Time
don't know who's
out,
about to
time
see
out,
you.
time out.
It's not about me. I'm just the host. I'm the moderator.
So we're gonna go through. I'm gonna ask you yes or no questions. It's like you just gotta say yes or no, no explanation. We're talking about cheating. Is kissing cheating? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Both of you guys agree? Yes.
Yes.
All right. Is getting head cheating?
Me receiving head, I don't consider to be cheating. But if somebody was eating my wife out, I would feel like it was cheating.
Honestly, if a man is like getting head, honestly, no. But I knew who he was cheating on, so I knew it was more than that. So in that situation,
No, we're not talking about your situation. We're
Oh,
just talking
okay.
about in general. Do you think getting head is cheating?
yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Is getting on a dating app cheating?
Yes.
Even though they never met up with
You know
anyone?
they want to fuck. Why else are they on there?
What about you?
Some people are looking for lasting friendships and
Good
relationships
fucking Lord, go
after
home
they
with
run that
shit.
after they run that pussy up on the first
Go
or the second
home
date.
with that shit.
Some people just look at fashion. They try
Every
to get
girl I ever
fashion
made on
ideas.
any dating website was with the movement right away. All that shit
So-
they was talking
Oh,
on
yeah.
their
Is
profile
cheating
was
to you, yes or no?
bullshit. Get on a dating app, yeah, hell yeah. What the fuck is you on there for if you're not
Exactly.
trying to get
Why
chose
the fuck?
All right. So is going out is accepting gifts from someone cheating?
If we at the bar and I go to the bathroom and some lame ass dude decides to buy you a drink, no.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about
If
your
that nigga
friend.
goes out and buys you like a tennis bracelet,
Or a fucking pair of panties, which I've had happen before. I denied
yeah.
those motherfucking panties
Yeah,
because ew. First of all,
if a motherfucker
Second
buy
of
you
all-
some panties and you bring them shits to my house, you
first
So
of
it's
all,
cheat-
why would a woman accept some
These
random
are
man's
yes
panties?
and no.
Okay.
So it's
Yes.
yes.
He been in that pussy, that's why. Because that's his pussy too.
So
not
it's
just
yes.
mine.
You're saying yes.
Is accepting gifts cheating?
Considered cheating to you. Yes.
Yes.
I would say yes. Now here's the whole thing.
No, no, here's the whole
I'm just
thing.
gonna say this one thing. I have been at a job where this motherfucker was so fucking into me. He kept giving me shit, and I was like, "You need to stop," because I was living with my dude at the time who was not cool with it, and he kept buying me shit, and I would give it back to him, and then at a certain point, I gave it away to my friends, and I had to tell my manager. So it's like that happens whether or not
Was it
a
a
woman
patron
wants to
or a
accept
coworker?
it. Coworker.
Oh.
Whether or not I wanted to accept it, that motherfucker still been brought me gifts, and it was a whole topic of argument at my house. So
Why the nigga getting you shit? That ain't you
yeah,
ain't
why?
fucking him.
What you trying
ain't fucking that
to egg
nigga.
him on? Why you trying to believe him? Like, you know, yeah, that was exactly what it was. He was like, for show, upset about it.
He was trying to be that dick in the glass box. If that nigga ever fuck up, I'm spoiling you, baby. You already know how I'll get down.
So-
No, he just got mad. He didn't say spoil. Nothing about spoiling.
How many times have you ever cheated? Have you cheated on every one of your
No,
of your
I have not
boyfriends?
cheated on every one of them.
Ron just said don't ask him that. But
He
I'm
just
gonna
called
ask
you
him
out.
anyway.
What kind of bullshit? I said nothing like that.
Ron, how many times?
Everyday Celebrity Podcast will totally put words in your mouth. Be careful when you come on here.
I have cheated 3 times.
Okay.
3 times. And when I say 3 times, I don't mean like 3 times multiple with the same person. I mean like individual situations with these motherfuckers.
I'm a serial cheater up until this relationship. For the most part, I've cheated on everybody I damn near probably ever dated. And I, if I wanted to, I could not count the amount of times that I have cheated in my years of cheating. But what I find though is that I knew I wasn't my best me just being like.
Have you ever cheated on your wife? Your current wife?
I have not.
Has she ever cheated on you?
For her sake, she better not have.
So you think so? You just haven't proved it.
So I think so, motherfucker. If I thought so, would I still be living there? Like I'm not.
Know. You just said you stick by.
I'm a man's man, and that sounded like some toxic masculinity comment right there. But at the same time, I'm not the kind of dude that's finna stick around. If you go fuck somebody else, you can figure that shit out. I'll take care of my kids and still be a solid ass man on that note. But you got to get the fuck on. I'll move on. You can keep all this shit. I'll get it all again. It's no problem.
I also like to say this really quick. You're on your yes and no shit, but we're also on a podcast here as well, and I'm gonna make a comment on this bitch because I'm a woman and I like to talk. Okay. But the other thing is like you asked, how do you know that she didn't cheat? And that's the whole thing is that like sometimes you can't just say I know that she didn't cheat or I don't know that he cheated or anything like that. You sometimes just have to go with your gut and you have to trust yourself and you have to believe.
Can I tell y'all about my go with my gut moment?
Love it.
Your podcast will love to hear this. Is a song on the background, but we don't own the rights to it, so we're not gonna turn it up. But so I'm out with my wife, who was not my wife at the time, and I saw somebody that I had known from high school, a dude or whatever. He was a popular cat, and so I said what's up to him, and then my wife was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And I was like, "How the fuck you know this guy?" The fuck? And then she like, oh, my partner used to fuck with him and I used to fuck with his partner back in the day. I'm definitely not the give a fuck what you had going on before me guy, because my track record is so extensive that if I really tried to point that finger, it'd be foolish. But so she was kind of like weird and evasive with like, she told me like how she knew him and that she fucked with her friend, but like the shit just seemed kind of weird. Yeah. And so I decided to go in her phone like a bitch, and I felt like a bitch doing it. I felt like a bitch afterwards. But the fly part was she had a friend, and the friend who used to like fuck the dude who we met was on there coaching my girl to lie to me. Like, oh, you should have just lied to that nigga and told him that woo. And I was like, oh. So, and I was pretty cool with the chick or whatever, but like, I'm going to just get into her business. I'm not going to say her name, but she's like single black lady with a daughter. She is definitely like some late night pussy. She has not had a man in many years. And so I feel like part of her, like me and my wife got together pretty quickly and just hit it off and just kind of just always been together.
How long you been together?
We met in 13. We really hooked up in 14 and like officially in a relationship in 15. Cool. And then married in 17 and a kid in a short amount, all that shit. We went 0 to 100 real quick. But my point is that this friend never like was weird, funny. Like I felt no funny energy or anything. But then it kind of made me feel like some weird subconscious way you like jealous of my girl, like being in a situation, or maybe not jealous, envy. I don't know, whatever fucking words you want to use to describe it. But like, if you happy for your friend and you see your friend in a quality situation and then you would coach them to be like a bum bitch and lie, especially about something that like,
be questioning her friendship with them.
Because I never got in my wife sideways about it. It was never a big issue. I did go on her phone, but after I got off the phone, I was like, this bitch ain't your partner. Like, she ain't cool. Because like, if she your real partner and she a grown, like y'all grown, y'all in your 30s. The fuck is she coaching you to lie for?
I think most
like,
girls would
that's some shit.
Would lie for her homegirl.
Shit. No, they would do it. But like to actually tell your partner that's some shit. Me and you would say like, hey, blood, just tell the bitch it was blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like,
when he says me and you, he's not talking about me. I don't do none of this shit.
Talking about me. I'm the moderator, I tell you. But not real shit. And so now my wife kind of don't fuck with the friend, and so a mutual friend of all of ours came into the play, and I was just like, can you believe this raggedy ass bitch was trying to coach my girl to lie? And so the mutual friend went back and was like, wow, Ron was talking really bad about you. And so instead of being like, I was bootsy for like telling you to lie to your dude, she came back and was like, how could you let him say that about me? And my wife was like, the shit was true though, bitch. You was telling me to lie to him. Like, what the fuck? Should he? Would you be okay with that
Right.
if the shoe was on the other foot?
Yeah, no.
Like, you wouldn't
I don't have friends like that. I don't keep people in my life like that.
Oh,
Like,
she's not in our life no more.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. It's like
She's no longer.
I can't keep people in my life like that. It's like, you know, I don't need to lie for my friends because they're gonna be honest before I even have to lie.
Straight up.
You know, like I got friends I got friends and sisters who may have done some shady ass shit, and if they were like, "Did this happen?" I'd be like, "Bitch, what you talking about?" Right? In a heartbeat, because they're my fucking like family, right? But at the same time, it's like they're honest enough to be like, own up to their shit, own up to their own fucking issues, and even if they don't own up to it, I'm over there being like, look, it's hurting you more to not say it. Like, just be honest. If you can't be honest, is that really the right person you need to be with?
Facts.
Like, to me, I only fuck with people who can like stand up, who are like quality ass people, who are real to themselves, who are real to the people around them, who speak honestly to me. I'm a sarcastic ass bitch. I talk mad shit. I'm hella fucking sassy and like rude at times, you know, because I don't really give a fuck. But I'm real and I'm honest, and I'm not about to keep people in my life who are not fucking real and honest.
Facts.
Like.
And that's why he brought you on this podcast. I'm enjoying your energy. I just thought I'd throw that out
I
there.
appreciate you. I enjoy all this. It was hella funny because I was like, man, I don't know what this motherfucker's gonna have me talk about. He's gonna have me talk about some crazy ass shit. I already know. Like
everyday shit. That's what it's called. Everyday.
I already know.
So what's the next question?
Yeah.
The next
we
question.
got a FaceTime coming in over here too.
I'm
wondering if you want to.
The moderator, would you allow a friend
No.
to use? I'm not gonna.
No.
What?
Wait.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I'm not in this that business. So we talked about relationships and shit. So what is to you? You seem like a forgiving person. So what is a relationship deal breaker?
Relationship
Like
deal
no
breaker.
questions asked. If this happens, I'm out.
If you violate a boundary of mine, if you come on to me when I tell you no, if you disrespect the people in my life, like any of my family or my friends, like to me it's more about like honorable shit. That's where my breaking point is like, if you disrespect me, if you disrespect my people and you disrespect my boundaries, bitch, you're gone. Like, I have no interest with you. If I told you no and you keep pushing, I will probably slap you and kick you out. I really will. Don't test a bitch. A bitch is from the town, all right? I may be a white girl, all right? That's for the podcast is audio, right? Yes. I may be a white girl, but don't fucking test me. I am extremely white, but don't
Jewish,
fucking test me.
Fact.
Man, I'm not Jewish.
You're not?
No, not one bit.
No,
I ain't got
Jewish.
no Jewish motherfuckers in my line. A bitch is Sicilian, motherfucker. Like, I got no. Just because I got big ass Jufro hair doesn't mean my motherfucking ass is Jewish. Racist.
All right. What's a deal breaker for you, Ron?
Just not holding me down 100%, and that don't have to be financially. That don't have to always be physically, but just having my best interest in mind. If you're not coming to the situation with like. What you can do to better yourself and better me, then I don't want to be with you. I mean, I'm not fucking with nobody that's fucking on nobody else. I'm not fucking with nobody that don't like value themselves. I'm not even entertaining situations like that at this point in my life. Mm-hmm. So mainly it's just your energy and how you come to the table, what you come to the table with. I'm all about solid ass relationships with solid people. I've not just in like my relationship with my wife, but just in relationship with people that I know that's just not on the wavelength that I'm trying to be on. I'm separating myself. So it's just holding yourself down and holding me down and being accountable to what we
I agree with that. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, this is the point of the show where I let my guests promote themselves. Like if you got anything going on that you want the people to know about, promote your social media. Tell the people where they can find you on Instagram, Facebook, and all that. If you got a business party or whatever you want to promote, this is your time to shine and do that. Liana, if you want to promote anything to the people.
I'm not much one for promoting myself, if I'm honest with you. If you fuck with me, you fuck with me. That's great.
Okay, well, you got businesses, don't you?
I got businesses, but they ain't for everybody. I don't want just, I'm selective, motherfucker. Like
I want your money, but not your money.
I'm not going to disagree. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, that shit is real.
No, I like I'm a massage therapist. I do energy healing. If you vibe with me and it feels good to you, you can always give me a call. My social media is _Liana Vines _. I got my website on there.
Can you spell that for people?
It's _ LIANAVINES _. That is my business name as well. I'm also a professional organizer. I work with families, clients, and businesses to help organize their homes, energetic clearing of their homes, financials, and anything else you got to clean out. I make, that's where my passion lives, is doing energy work and cleaning out physical and cleaning out energetic. That's where I'm at. So if any of that sounds like your thing, you let me know. You hit me up. It was a pleasure to be here, talking shit,
Yes,
being real,
You're very welcome.
talking relationship.
Ron?
Thank you so much.
Definitely not giving out my personal IG, even though I probably got tagged for this on there because it's personal and it's private and shit. But yeah, you can check me out on IG at Bars the Barber. I just got it going. I'm a new barber, getting my shit together. Newly apprenticed barber, but I do have skills. Come get your lineup, come get your tapers and all the whole nine. You can also find me at Freed Vision, FREDE Vision with a Z. For some of freelance photography, if you got some stuff you want shot for a social media platform, you got a wedding coming up, you want to do some family portraits or whatnot, I got the skills to take care of you. Check me out, holler at me.
All right. Well, thank you to Ron.
I got one more thing I got to say. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's his podcast, but I want to blast my partner. My girl Charlize has a platform she's working on called The Town Experience. If you're listening to this podcast and you have not been to Oakland, and you're curious and supporting black businesses, you can look up The Town Experience, and it will give you a list of different vendors across the board for anything you may be looking for, and also give you some insight on what to look for when you come to the town. So The Town Experience, check that out.
And also, if you have a story, you know what I'm saying? If you like a stripper, prostitute, ex-pimp, a drug addict.
Well, you didn't ask me about my old pimping days, so I kind of feel like you didn't give me a chance.
I'm kind of hungry.
Right? I'm like, we didn't, like, there's so much
Well,
more to cover.
I'm
but we got
hungry
plenty.
and I'm ready to go. So if you have a story, I'm saying, or if you are an artist, an entrepreneur, if you're trying to get a business off the ground or whatever, and you need a platform to talk about it, Everyday Celebrity is that platform. It's for everyday people in the neighborhood who I think the masses should know about. Everyday Celebrity Podcast on all platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, all that. Everyday Celebrity Media Company on Instagram, Everyday Celebrity Media. That's my website. Yeah, that's the end of this. And thank you for Ron coming on. Thanks for Liana. And we out. Anything you want to say else? That's it?
We out.
All right, y'all.
All right. You.